Hi, welcome back to the fourth and final part of our journey, and today we are finishing off the table, so enjoy. So it's day two of machining up this slab. Done a couple of upgrades. It was getting the vibrations were getting really bad, especially in the middle of the rig. So I've stiffened up the sides of this sliding section, which should stop any vibrations from the machine in the middle. Plus, it was getting a bit tatty because it had been left outside, so I've redone the ends, done the safety hooks, so I don't push the sled off and damage the top. Plus, set these scaffold poles on this frame here, which will make it much more flat. So yeah, we've just sort of upgraded for a bit more finesse, and then we can get a much flatter surface. So I'm going to take a lot more off the back first. This section's quite loose here, so I might just put a strap on it just to help once we've got down to the 40 mil, and before we flip it back over. I've got all the bow ties cut, and they're ready to go in. So once we've got the meat out the back, down to the thickness we want, then I can go back over to the other side, inlay the bow ties, glue them in, let them go off, and then we'll skim the top for the last skim. So we've taken the final skim off with the router sled. There's you can see a few striations in here, and also I didn't want to go too thin, so we're almost at this corner, and a little bit off this corner, but I'm just going to rough sand this now to smooth it out, and then we'll go over it with the Rotex. I think I'm going to just put a piece of plywood across here and here just to lock that in, then we can flip it over, and then get the bow ties in and final skim. Right.
I'm just finishing off, making sure Daddy's done it all, checking for Daddy. Daddy, you think it's all completo?
I think so. It's a bit tricky with the light.
It's done, Daddy.
Huh?
Done.
No.
Yes, it's done.
I think it looks fab.
Baba,
Fabioso.
Huh?
Should I finish filming now?
Sure. Ta-da.
Ta-da! Olaf.
Just checking. Sorry. Under the light, in the mirror. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that. We certainly did. It was an interesting project for us to do, and we have more in the pipeline.